Hi everyone, this is Recording Tips with me, Rick the Click, and today I'm gonna show you the mix session of Without You. So let's check it out in Pro Tools. Since I'm a drummer, I have my drums at the top of the session, and all the green stuff are the drum kit and a few stereo samples. The purple stuff are loops, percussion, shakers, tambourines, sweeps, impacts, guitar shakes, whatever. And that goes to my drums clean bus, and then I'm sending the different tracks to some parallels. I got some kick parallels, snare parallels, affix parallels, 1073 parallels, decapitator parallel, the devil lock parallel, and all of that goes to my drum bus. So let's check out the drums. So this is the drums without any parallel processing. And this is with the processing. And here's what the affix is doing. Here's what the 1073 is doing. Here's what the decapitator is doing. Distortion. And here's what the kick parallel and snare parallel is doing. Just adding punch. And on both kick and snare parallel, I have UAD 33609. I have Pultec and a DBX. And I think the DBX is barely moving. Just sounds cool to put it on there. Yeah, barely moving. So that's my drums. I'm gonna show you, we're gonna do some nerdy stuff. Why I put these on or things like that, why I use distortion and stuff in later videos, but today I'm just gonna show you what the mix looks like. So let's jump to the bass. We got a sub bass. We got verse synth bass, we got bass amp. So the bass amp is actually a blend of UAD Ampeg B15 and the DI from the bass. And I cut some low end so that the sub bass is taking care of that. And we have a distortion bass, which is probably the decapitator, also taking away some low end, notching a few frequencies. And I have taking away some highs on the verse bass. As you can see, I'm not using that much plugins because I always do a premix where I print stuff through hardware so that when it's time to mix, I have a clean session with hopefully good sounds. So that's why I don't have a lot of plugins in the mix session. So that's the bass. Here's the guitars. All the guitars goes through our Fender Blues Deluxe. And a few UAD plugins. I use the Ocean Way Room for guitars a lot. I use the Galaxy Tape Echo and the Boss Chorus pedal and the Dimension D. So this is what the verse guitar sounds like, and I'm sending that to a plate. I have the verse guitar too, which is introduced in the second verse. And we have chorus guitar left, boosting some 5K with the API 550B. And we got the main guitar, which I'm sending to the Ocean Way Room. And it sounds like this in the intro. Then for the chorus or hook, I'm adding a lo-fi plugin in the pre-mix stage, and it sounds like this. And the lead guitar, I was printing through a lot of effects, some Dimension D, the Boss chorus pedal, and all kinds of crazy stuff, and I realized it was a bit too much, so that's why I added another guitar filling in on a few notes. So this is the first guitar. And this is the second guitar that's adding on top of that. And together they sound like this. And then we got the answer guitar, which is a cool distorted guitar with some ocean room on it. And it's adding to the main guitar, and it's doing this. So it's doing that on a few chords. So that part is stereo. And then we have a feedback track, which is basically a feedback. And that's it for the guitars. Underneath we have the brass. So here's the brass, which I also printed through the Ocean Way room to make it sound more real, you know. And underneath that we have two pads doing kind of a stereo movement from left to right. Kind of cool. Then it's time for vocals. This is all the vocal tracks. As you can tell, same here. Not that much plugins. I got EQs, taking away some stuff I don't like. I got Little Altar Boy from Sound Toys doing a pitch thing. We got UAD Raw distortion pedal. We got Kramer tape for distortion. And some de-essers, and I'm sending that to plates, quarter note delays, and a throw. Okay, so here's all the vocals.
Learn how to love without you. I gotta carry my cross without you. Stuck in a riddle and I'm just about to figure it out without you. And I'm done.
So that is all the vocals dry. A few stuff have the Ocean Way room on them and some printed distortion. I guess all of these tracks have printed distortion and compression. So here's what it sounds like with some effects.
Learn how to love without you. I gotta carry my cross without you. Stuck in a riddle and I'm just about to figure it out without you.
So here's what the low vocal sounds like with the pitch effect on.
I gotta learn how to love without you. I gotta carry my cross
Without you, stuck in
a riddle and I'm just about to.
Just adding some, you know, a low octave on, you know, the vocal package, so it sounds a bit more full. So
I've gotta learn how to love
here's without it.
I've gotta learn how to love without you.
Here's with it.
I've gotta learn how to love without you. I gotta carry my cross without you. Stuck
And then I have a printed stereo track, which is all the elements of the mix, you know, with panning and everything, effects, everything, going through my hardware 1176. I just have the UAD plugin version, so I can show you what setting I use on the real deal. So I put the release on about 3, attack about 3, British mode, and just squeezing the shit out of everything. So it sounds like this. So it adds a lot of energy to the mix because it pumps a little bit, but you know, just pull it in subtly. All of the tracks goes to my 2 bus, which is UAD Neve 33609. And that is doing how much? I don't know. Let's see. Not too much. I got the curve bender, taking away some 300, boosting some tight low end, taking away some 20k, boosting some 20k on the sides, making it a bit wider, taking away some 4.2, and then I'm adding the SSL G bus compressor, and that is doing this much. So this is what the track sounds like without my bus compression and EQ. And this is what it sounds like with it. And that's the mix session. As you can see, it's kind of boring because I don't have that much plugins doing some crazy shit, but I do a lot of pre-mixing where I, you know, sound shape the shit out of stuff sometimes, but sometimes it's just adding some hardware love to a few tracks. And if it's a guitar track with 4 microphones, or I don't know, a bass drum with 10 mics on, I just sum it in Pro Tools and print it like one mono track or one stereo track or whatever it needs. Oh shit, I forgot to show you the secret. Okay, so here's my secret. I print the mix through a Studer. Disappointing, right? So yeah, that's my mix session. We're gonna make a few more videos where I tell you, you know, details about my bus compression, my drum parallels, my guitar pre-mixing, whatever, you know. So this is just to show you what a mix session for a cover could look like. So I will see you next time. Bye!